If you knew morning wood, then you know why I feel blue. Without morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Pretty, 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 pretty morning wood. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you and I need you, morning wood. I love you, morning wood, with a love so rare and true. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Well, I love you, I want you, morning wood.
Rise and shine. Happy Devil's Sunday. This is the Morning Woo, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. As last night was not a very good night for the New Jersey Devils, going power outage with the power play last night. Penalty kill, not perfect. Difference maker in the game, collapsing late in the game as the Devils are running out of time right now. Happy Devil's Sunday to you all. I see Max, Metalander. I see Michael Hay, Maria, Eddie, Tom. Happy Devil's Sunday to you. Art Heaton. Lots of questions. Doom and gloom yesterday. But yeah, yesterday on Devils After Dark on the replay, I got a comment. And again, I know last night was bad, but I got a comment from Wyatt. And I asked the question back. He hasn't responded. Wyatt World 47. He says, these post-game shows never really reflect or capture the mood of the fan base in the moment. This game ended your season, guys. I don't know what he meant by that, but going by how I'm interpreting it, the entire National Hockey League of Devils fans were not happy last night. And the math, every game that goes by where the Devils are not picking up any points, especially in that Eastern Conference, every time you're not picking up points, it's just going to get harder and harder to jump over a dozen teams to get to that last playoff spot. Now, the Devils, it's easier for them at the moment to get into the playoffs through the Metropolitan Division, not the wild card, because the Atlantic Division is stacked with teams where Toronto Maple Leafs are, in last place in the Atlantic? Devils second to the bottom of the Metropolitan Division, only the New York Rangers worse. So, realistically speaking, and we're going to take a look at the schedule here, because now it's February 1st. Trade deadline is in about 5-6 weeks from now. You've got the Olympic break. You've got 2 more games to the Olympic break. You got that charity event that the Devils are doing tomorrow. And then, with curling and all that good stuff, benefiting the Devils Youth Foundation. And then you've got the BJs on Tuesday and the New York Islanders on Thursday. Both games are a must regulation win because the Devils are falling behind in the standings, losing an opportunity to gain some ground against the New York Islanders, who are holding that 3rd spot in the Metropolitan Division. And, I'm a little disappointed. Let's go over some of the comments in the YouTube Live. Max says, I only saw the last period. I assume it was not good enough. Whole night 0 for 5 on the power play is unacceptable. Agreed. You got to at least put 1 in, which is kind of like the Mendoza line. Metalander, Sam, this situation is worse than you think. Ownership loves to virtue signal, but can't live up to the moral standard they demand of the fans. It's a facade with one priority, money. Agree. I completely agree with you. I've been saying that all along. I'll just say it right now. I think the ownership group are a bunch of phonies. They're just a bunch of phonies. And they're probably, they own a team, a franchise, in an area where we're from New Jersey and we can spot a phony from a mile away. We're not stupid. And, and it does affect the team. People are like, oh, Sam, you're too worried about the ownership. No, it affects everything. Because there's no accountability. There's accountability on stupid things with this organization, but there's no accountability when it comes to, winning, discipline. It's just mind-boggling. Hello, Eddie. Happy Devil's Sunday to you. Michael Hay. At 8 a.m., it's 8, -8, whether I talk or not. LGD and all weather. Michael Hay being a hardcore fan. It was cold yesterday at the outdoor game at Penn State, watching Spittin' Chicklets in my old stomping grounds, having a good time, watching college hockey at Beaver Stadium, which it sets up, it's kind of an audition for an outdoor game. And it's probably going to be a Keystone Cup scenario where it's Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh, in central Pennsylvania one day. But, the Beaver Stadium, they're doing a reconstruction plan. It's $700 million that they're putting into the new building, which by the way, they're not asking like taxpayer money like the Devils are for the renovation. Their $300 million renovation of Prudential Center. No, it's $700 million funded by Penn State to renovate their stadium, which, by the way, it's being constructed right now, and you can see it's beautiful because it's overgrown, in my opinion, Beaver Stadium, but now you can see actual valley, the backdrop. It's very, very, very nice. Tom says, typical Devils game. Max played well, couldn't score. Wasted great effort from Allen. Power play and PK stunk. Yeah, special teams stunk. Terrible waste of power play, says Maria. C-Bones, just like, Arheen, I'll get to your question in a minute, but he says, so disappointing as a fan. How do we approach the rest of the season? Dubs is like a poorly put together roster that is both physically and mentally weak. They are unprepared for games. Bottom of the league at both NHL and AHL levels, and the cupboards are bare. In a bad place. Couldn't agree with you more. C-Bone says last night was the season in a hole. Tom wants Timo gone. yeah, just Dubs is like, completely agree. 8.8 AAV passenger. Dude is a shell of the player that we were again. He needs to be gone before Dougie. Metallander says ownership is not interested in improving the team, but they are improving the arena because the arena makes some money outside of the New Jersey Devils. Brian says, Wimpy says, Brown definitely threw that puck into the net. LOL. It's you're in a bad spot right now. And to answer Arheen's question, how do you approach it? You got to approach it one game at a time. I mean, mathematically, the Devils aren't eliminated, but the odds of them making the playoffs is getting more difficult by the day. And it's disappointing. I mean, Tom Fitzgerald cannot go with this team if he thinks that they're going to make the playoffs. If he makes a public statement that the answer is in the room, you should fire him on the spot. Big, bold moves need to be made. No hesitation moves. I got some trade proposals in my mind that seem impossible, but good GMs get it done. Because right now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are kind of in the same predicament with the New Jersey Devils. Could there be a big trade that can be had where it's beneficial for both teams? Toronto Maple Leafs, they need a top 4 defenseman. Devils have Dougie Hamilton. Devils need a third-line center and a winger to play alongside Jack Hughes. Well, actually, the Devils need more than that, but, let's just say, let's play a little GM hockey, armchair GM hockey for a moment. There's all these rumors about Austin Matthews, the production not doing well. He's doing better now. But I thought to myself, and let me preface by saying it's not going to happen because to get all these guys to waive their no movement clause and actually agree. But it wouldn't. All right, I'll just put this proposal out there. You trade Dougie Hamilton and Timo Meier, add in a first-round draft pick. And I haven't even looked at the cap situation because Toronto will be absorbing a lot. But with all the speculation about Austin Matthews, it got me thinking, could Tom Fitzgerald actually pull something that off? No, he probably can't. That'd be a hard deal for Toronto to make. But that's what you got to do. You got to think outside the box here because you just can't go status quo on this certain team right now. And I'm thinking outside the box right now, like you got to move some of these albatross contracts. Because the one thing the Devils have going for themselves, when players leave the New Jersey Devils, they seem to do a lot better. Don't they? Hokic, 1981, so many no-movement contracts. Agreed. Arheen says, I like to see more development of the younger players. Stop putting them in the fire at this point. Agreed. The player development of the New Jersey Devils, it's just absolutely, it's subpar. Right now, like what happened with Seamus Casey, what happened with Ethan Edwards, what happened with a lot of these guys. Lenny Aminahu, it's a nice story so far, but That's one of the biggest problems. Their development. Their development. It's not there. We were pitched on their analytics team. They modernized after Lou. Lou did things the wrong way. Look, say what you want about Lou Lamoriello, but Lou Lamoriello in Toronto and with the New York Islanders did a hell of a lot better than the New Jersey Devils in the last 12, 13 years with the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment. I'm sorry, but, you pitched us a bill of goods, and you look at the body of work of the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment with their other teams, whereas they were a laughing stock with the 76ers to the point where the commissioner had to basically barge in and say, look, let the Colangelos help you through this, how to run a sports franchise. And then Brian Colangelo had a burner account, if you remember that incident. And the 76ers, what have they done? They haven't made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Devils, same thing, only won one playoff series since this ownership group has bought the team. The Commanders, okay, they had that one lucky year when Jaden Daniels was a rookie because nobody was expecting them to be good, and they caught everybody off guard, and they got lucky to go into the NFC Championship game, but they regressed to the same old Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment Group. It's not a winning culture. You talk to any former employee that's worked with that company in any of those franchises, they tell me all the time, bunch of phonies, everybody. That's what I hear. So it's really an ownership thing. There's not much we can do unless fans start to boycott. Again, I'm not going to organize it because I don't believe in that stuff, but it's getting to the point where it's getting very hard as a fan to part ways with my money and give it to these dopes. Winning solves everything, but there's no winning here. Did you really think that the Devils could pull off a victory last night? Tom says HBSC wants to be nice and liked, and they always finish last. Tom says Daniels might be NFL. Jack Hughes, great talent, always hurt. No, RG3. It repeats itself. RG3. Second overall pick, if you remember, RG3. Had a great rookie season and then just fell off. And the injuries started to pile up. Tom is now officially not buying one thing inside the arena right now. No food, drink, or apparel. Wimpy says it's easy money betting against the Devils, sadly. Hokish says, when was the last time they developed a goalie? Some of the goalies we have had left are now actually pretty good. Agreed. The player development has been the problem. There is no pipeline anymore. There used to be a draft pipeline. The Devils are mediocre at best. Here's a John said, even my wife, who's a diehard fan, can't take the negativity about the Devils anymore. Is it the negativities from the fans or the negativities on the ice? I mean, I can sit here and feed you, a bunch of BS how this team is going to make the playoffs, but I'd be lying to you. That's the problem. It's not negativity. I'm actually a very positive person. But, it's the reality of it. It's a hard conversation that I really don't want to be talking about on the podcast, talking about ownership group all the time. I want to be talking about the product on the ice, but the problem is the product on the ice It's more than just a terrible team. It's the culture. Here's what John says, the negativity of how much I complain about them. But you should complain away. Because this team sucks. This ownership group sucks. They don't care about us. And now they expect us to donate to their Devil's Youth Foundation to help all the youth, get scholarships. Yeah, that sounds nice and everything, but again, I have trouble parting ways with my money towards this organization on anything. It gets tougher and tougher and tougher when there's a lack of accountability, disorganization throughout the entire organization. Metal Liner, how about the cutting out the unnecessary distractions? Completely agree with you. There will be no Chicago cut, auto signing, sweep the deck with Lou in charge. Yeah, sweep the deck. I get it. You're raising money for charity, but it seems like after the sweep the deck, something bad happens. Happens every year. I've been traumatized by sweep the deck. If you remember when, how come Mikey McLeod's not there? Then it all went to hell. But yeah, I'm just westbound on Olympic. Is there any chance Fitz stays when they don't make the playoffs? No, I think he's good as gone. Right now, I don't think the Devils. I don't think they know what they're doing. Ownership group. I think some of you, the fans, would do a lot better if we were running the team. Probably be more profitable because you know what winning equals. More revenue. But it's just a systematic issue. Starts from the top. But, Devils play the BJs on Tuesday. Let's go over the Devils' schedule right now. If the Devils run the table between now to the Olympic break, which is basically 2 games, they're going to have to, and they're going to have to win in regulation. The best that they can do is be 3 points out of a playoff spot behind the New York Islanders. That game against the New York Islanders on Thursday, they have to win in regulation. I don't care how they do it, but they have to win in regulation. Then they go on Olympic break. When they come back, they got back-to-back games. They start at home Wednesday night on the 25th of February against the Buffalo Sabres, who are red hot. Look at Lindy Ruff now, folks. I told you it wasn't the coaching. And then they got to play a second half of a back-to-back in Pittsburgh. Again, a must-win situation. Then they go off to see the St. Louis Blues. Then you're in March. Play back-to-back games against, at home, Florida Panthers on Tuesday, March 3rd. Then on the 4th, Toronto Maple Leafs, all trying to jumpstart their seasons. You got the New York Rangers on the 7th, that Saturday, matinee game. The only Devils-Rangers game at the Rock. And then you got a second half of back-to-back against the Detroit Red Wings the next day at the Rock. 7 p.m. Sunday start. So that homestand is going to be huge because it's 4, 5, 6, a 7-game homestand in March. That's where they got to make their run. Because they also play the Flames, the Kings, and the Bruins. That 7-game homestand will really seal the deal for the New Jersey Devils. Problem is, March 6th is the trade deadline. The Devils have to win some of these games. I mean, Tom Fitzgerald just can't sit on his hands on trade deadline. Either you're buying or you're selling. Right now, if you want to be analytical, all points to you need to sell now. Trade Dougie and trade others, and you're going to have to fold the cards if you don't win the next 2 games. Because the gap is widening. But you know that 7-game homestand, that's not going to be easy. And then they go on the road to play the New York Rangers, the Capitals, the Dallas Stars, the Nashville Predators, and then the Carolina Hurricanes, March 28th. 5-game road trip. Play the Blackhawks and then play the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Not an easy schedule. Not an easy schedule, folks. This is what Jason O said. They're a bad hockey team. Art Heaton says, I think I set my expectations to beating the Rangers to end the season. Anything else will be gravy. Here's a John. Would you trade Jack and Luke to Minnesota for 5 first-round picks? Happy Devils Sunday to you, Dubzilla. Here's a John. I did not have the Penguins and Islanders on top of the Metro on my bingo card. I had the Penguins. Islanders was a big surprise because I was assuming that it would take time for Matthew Schaefer to get acclimated into the National Hockey League, but the kid's a unicorn. Absolute unicorn for the New York Islanders. So this is going to be a tough stretch for the New Jersey Devils. You got to take it one game at a time to answer Art Heaton's question. It starts with the BJs on Tuesday. You lose that one, you lose the Islanders. There's not much we can talk about, folks. Then you just hope that the Devils can get Gavin McKenna at that point. Jason O says the problem with Jack is teams know he can't stay healthy. You're not getting a huge return. Yeah, but 5 first-round draft picks for both Luke and Jack, I think, is a fair return. Hokic says Blue Jackets are actually on a roll since replacing their coach. Yes, they have been. Yes, they have been. And the Islanders have been on a roll since they replaced their goalie coach. What has Tom Fitzgerald done? Took him too long to trade Palat. What is he waiting for? Dubzilla, awful ending to a pretty gritty game. Season appears to be over at this point. Would like to see some damn pride by these guys to finish the season. And no way do you trade them. That's just stupid. Tom says 5 first. That will be in the 20s. No thanks. Fitz does nothing, zero accountability in this organization. Yeah, I mean, and Jason said, I don't see anybody giving up 5 first. No, I don't either. Again, that's just, but you're getting 2 Hughes brothers to reunite with Quinn. That's a unique situation that you got to pay a premium on. But at the same time, are the Devils waiting for Quinn to come over to this dumpster fire? We shall see. All right, well, we're going to get out of here, folks. Dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes on your favorite podcast pages. Do the morning woo ceremonial sip. That was a tough one to swallow yesterday. So I salute you, the fans, sticking with the Let's Go Devils podcast. I salute you. Till next time, this is the Morning Woo. Let's go Devils.
Morning woo, morning woo.